Let me prove to you who really matters to him.
Claire yanked Kloe toward the middle of the street. A speeding sports car barreled toward them. William sprinted from across the street and pulled Claire out of the way. Kloe was hit. Her body flew through the air and crashed into a pool of blood. She woke up in a hospital bed. William sat at her bedside. He said,
"What were you planning to do with Claire?"
3 years into their marriage. While William was in the shower, Kloe Taylor found messages on his phone.
William, life has been tough without you. I think about you every day. I'm getting married tomorrow. I want to see you one last time. I'll give you my first night. I'll wait half an hour. If you don't come, I'll kill myself.
Kloe froze. When William came out, he glanced at his phone and left immediately. Kloe asked,
William, after a man returns to his family, between the wife and the mistress, do they often feel more sorry for the mistress?
William replied,
"Kloe, I've already returned to my family. What more do you want?"
He slammed the door and left. Kloe and William grew up together. He used to bike across town for her cake, stay up to help her study, and buy her heating pads for cramps. Everyone called her a princess pampered by William. Then Claire appeared at William's graduation ceremony. She tugged his sleeve, and he didn't pull away. Soon William talked about Claire constantly. Kloe saw Claire at the top of his contact list. She forced him to choose, cancel the engagement or cut ties with Claire. He reluctantly chose to cut ties. The wedding went ahead, but William became distant. He zoned out on dates, drank in the study, and gave only random gifts on anniversaries. Kloe stayed awake all night. At dawn, she looked up divorce procedures but found a video of William crashing a wedding. He took Claire's hand in front of everyone. Kloe replayed the video 7 times. She packed her bags and went to file for divorce. The staff said,
"Miss Taylor, your marriage certificate with Mr. William Parker is forged and has no legal effect."
Kloe remembered William had gotten the certificate himself after the May 20th holiday. She left the office and collapsed outside. As she reached the street, everything went black, and she collapsed.
You need to call your husband.
A nurse held her medical record. Kloe dialed William 6 or 7 times. He didn't answer. Finally he said coldly,
"Stop calling. I'm in a meeting."
He hung up in 3 seconds. Kloe heard Claire's voice. Kloe told the nurse.
I don't have a husband. Just tell me what's wrong.
The nurse said.
You're 3 months pregnant. You're malnourished.
Kloe said.
I don't want it. Prepare for an abortion.
After the procedure, Kloe asked the nurse to preserve the embryo. She would send it to William as a parting gift. Kloe canceled her registration with the immigration office. The staff said it would take 15 business days. She burned everything related to William. When William returned, he saw the ashes.
"What did you burn?"
Nothing. Just useless stuff.
He handed her a gift.
"You've been sick. You look pale."
Kloe didn't respond. He explained.
"There were issues at work. I had to leave. You wanted this bag. I had my secretary buy it."
Kloe said.
Why remember it now?
William was confused. He couldn't remember the last time he gave her a gift. Kloe's phone buzzed with a friend request from Claire. She accepted. Claire sent an address and said,
Let's meet. I have things you'll be interested in.
Kloe agreed. At the cafe, Claire handed over photos of William crashing her wedding and them dating. Claire said,
3 years later, William still hasn't gotten over me. His heart will always be with me. He bought me a villa. He left his assistant to take care of me.
Kloe asked,
If you were the one he couldn't forget, why did he give you up 3 years ago and marry me?
The moment you forced him to cut ties with me, you lost.
You're right. I lost. But Claire, as the mistress, you'll never win.
She stood up to leave. Claire grabbed her wrist.
Let me prove to you who really matters to him.
Claire yanked Kloe toward the middle of the street. A speeding sports car barreled toward them. William sprinted from across the street and pulled Claire out of the way. Kloe was hit. Her body flew through the air and crashed into a pool of blood. She woke up in a hospital bed. William sat at her bedside. He said,
"What were you planning to do with Claire?" "I've kept my distance. Why are you still interfering?"
Kloe croaked.
Your version of keeping distance is crashing her wedding?
Claire's parents forced her to marry a man 10 years older. I've let her down once. I can't watch her fall into that disaster. Don't you have any empathy?
Kloe gripped the bedsheet.
Since you care so much about her, why don't you just say it?
William leaned over.
What would saying it change? Wasn't it you who forced me to choose? I've given you everything. I've never owed you anything. I just needed space. But you keep pushing.
Kloe cried silently. William's fury faded. He said,
I know you don't feel secure. I'll keep my distance. I'll treat her as just a friend. Can you trust me this once?
Kloe closed her eyes. William said,
Remember you wanted to see the northern lights? I've planned the trip for our 3rd anniversary. I'll take you to Antarctica.
His phone rang. He saw Claire's name and said,
Get some rest. I have a meeting.
He left. Kloe discharged herself. She wandered to a cafe and saw William and Clare outside. Claire had cream on her face. William wiped it off and tied her shoes. They entered the cafe and sat next to Chloe's booth. Claire said,
William, my parents are forcing me to date other men. I don't want anyone else. I just want to stay with you, even without a title.
Tell your parents I'll marry you.
But you already married Kloe.
I only had a wedding with her. We never registered. I'll send her abroad for a trip and then marry you.
Kloe ran to the bathroom. A fire alarm blared. Thick smoke filled the cafe. Kloe covered her nose and squeezed toward the exit. She saw William pushing against the crowd, shouting,
Claire, where are you?
Passerby grabbed him.
Don't go in.
William tore free and rushed into the flames. Kloe stood frozen. She remembered when she was 16, trapped under rubble after a landslide. William dug with his bare hands until he pulled her out. Now he was doing the same for Claire. William stumbled out of the flames, covered in blood, holding Claire. He collapsed. Paramedics took them away. Kloe went home, blocked all messages, and packed her things. She booked a flight for 5 days later. The airline called to confirm.
Yes, my flight is in 5 days.
The door burst open. William stood there, forehead bandaged.
Where are you going in 5 days?
Chloe's fingers trembled when William returned. She replied casually,
Didn't you say you were going to take me to see the Northern Lights? The airline called to confirm.
William paused. His forehead was bandaged.
I was in the hospital. I texted and called. Why didn't you respond?
I lost my phone. I'm waiting for a new SIM card.
She turned toward her room.
Don't you want to ask about my injury?
William frowned. Kloe stopped. She knew what he expected. Her usual anxiety and concern. But she was no longer that person. She had loved him because he once loved her sincerely. Now his love was shared with someone else. She turned.
You always said I cared too much. I've figured it out. I'll give you space. If you don't want to talk, I won't ask. If you don't want to do something, I won't force it.
William was speechless. Those were his own words. He followed her to the bedroom and watched her pack.
For your birthday 2 months ago? I couldn't be there because of the business trip. The auction house has new jewelry. Let me take you to pick some out. I'll make it up to you.
Kloe didn't look up.
No need.
William insisted on taking her. At the auction, Kloe felt no interest in the jewelry she once loved. William bid on piece after piece, buying almost everything. Each time he won, he glanced at her, hoping for joy, but Kloe remained indifferent. Nearby, people whispered,
That's Mr. Parker. They look like the perfect couple.
I heard he had a past lover before marriage. It almost broke them up.
Men go through their wild phase, but they always come back to family.
Kloe heard the whispers. To outsiders, they looked like a perfect couple, but she knew the marriage was a lie. William had never let go of Clare. After the auction, William took a phone call. A staff member handed Kloe a heavy jewelry bag. Through a half-open door, she saw Clare pushing William's hand away. Eyes red.
You lied about working late. You were at the auction with Kloe.
William wiped her tears.
I really had work. Bringing her was just for her birthday. Don't be upset.
Clare pouted.
I saw you bidding on rings I liked.
It's my fault. I'll bring you the ring. And the sapphire necklace. And the jade bangles.
Kloe watched, smiling bitterly. For Clare, he apologized and gave gifts. For Kloe, asking for honesty was unreasonable. She turned and left. Outside, William caught up.
The company needs me. Can you go back alone?
Kloe nodded. He looked at her bag.
Some business partners' wives like the jewelry. Since you didn't, I promised to give it to them. Next time, I'll bring you to pick more.
Kloe handed him the bag.
No need. There won't be a next time.
William looked confused but left. At home, Kloe fell ill with a fever. She dreamed of the young William who once cared for her. When she woke, the bed was empty. Pills were scattered on the floor. He got up to get water, collapsed down the stairs, and cut her forehead. Blood streamed down. The nanny called 911. On the way to the hospital, she dialed William 37 times. No answer. Kloe weakly pressed her hand.
Don't call him. He won't pick up.
The nanny cried.
He used to be frantic when you cut your finger. He stayed by your side.
Kloe closed her eyes. That William was gone. 2 days later, Chloe's fever broke. Claire sent her messages.
Kloe, you don't know your marriage certificate with William was fake. He never planned to marry you. He tossed you a forged piece of paper. William already agreed to make it legal with me. Tomorrow he'll get you out of the way and take me to the Manhattan Marriage Bureau. I'll walk out with his real last name.
Kloe locked her phone. She signed the release papers for the terminated pregnancy and handed the sealed medical container to a courier.
Deliver this to the city clerk's office tomorrow. Addressed to William Parker. Make him sign for it in person.
She went home. William was there with gift boxes. He said,
Thanks.
and turned toward the bedroom.
A project blew up. I have to stay in New York. Can you go to Antarctica alone? I'll fly out when I'm done.
Kloe faced the wall.
Sure.
William's phone buzzed. Claire said she twisted her ankle. William said,
Something came up at work.
and left. The next morning, William drove to Lower Manhattan. He texted Kloe.
Did you leave yet?
She replied with a photo at the airport.
5 minutes till takeoff. I left you a gift, William. Make sure you sign for it.
William walked into the city clerk's building with Claire. Half an hour later, they stepped out with a certified copy of their marriage. A courier approached William.
Mr. Parker, Ms. Taylor sent this. You have to sign in person.
William signed and tore open the package. William ripped open the package. Inside was a medical specimen container. A small human-shaped form floated inside. A hospital document read, Kloe Taylor, 12 weeks, voluntary termination.
What is this?
A letter fell into his lap. He unfolded it.
I thought love was permanent, but people change. Our child is returned to you. Don't look for me. We're done.
He had not known the child existed. Claire leaned in.
What is that?
William shoved her.
3 months. She was carrying my baby.
Claire lunged for the documents.
She faked it.
William held up the consent form.
She called me 6 times the day she was in the hospital. I was with you. The night before the procedure, I was playing house while you soaked up attention. When she collapsed outside the city clerk's office, I was busy building you a future.
He looked at Claire.
Did you know she was pregnant?
Claire shook her head.
I didn't know.
William called Kloe. The line was not available. He opened Instagram. He was blocked.
No. She wouldn't cut me off like that.
He ran to the parking lot. Claire screamed.
We just got married.
William jumped into his car and drove. At JFK, he ran through the terminal. He found her flight. The screen read, departed. He watched a plane cut through the gray sky. Chloe's last message flashed in his mind.
I left you a gift. Make sure you sign for it.
It had not been a goodbye. It had been a verdict. William sat in his office. He had not slept for 3 days. He had exhausted Parker Group's resources and hired a private investigator. No trace of Kloe had been found. The assistant said,
We have canceled Ms. Taylor's ID and bank cards. Her social media accounts have been wiped clean. She has vanished.
William clenched his fists. Claire walked in with soup wearing a pale pink dress that Kloe used to love.
William, I made you soup.
William recoiled.
Who told you to come into my office?
Claire had been imitating everything Kloe did. But she received only cold indifference.
Take it away, I don't like that brand. Kloe would never buy the wrong one.
Claire slammed the bowl down.
I am your wife. William, what do I have to do for you to look at me?
William ignored her and left. At home, the housekeeper told him Claire had redecorated Chloe's old room. William kicked open the door. He tore down the unfamiliar decorations. Then he saw a cardboard box in the corner. Inside were the ashes of the items Kloe had burned. He dug through the ashes with his bare hands. Sharp fragments cut his fingers. He did not notice. His fingers brushed against a photograph. It was half of a photo that had not burned completely. It showed Kloe wearing a white dress on the day they got engaged. She held the ring and smiled. William cradled the photograph. He remembered her asking,
Will we always be together?
He had promised.
Of course.
He sat on the floor holding the photo all night. The next morning, Claire found him curled up in the corner, clutching the photograph, tears on his face. He muttered,
Kloe, I am sorry. Please come back.
Claire looked at him. He wept for another woman but had been indifferent to her. Hatred surged inside her. She could not take Chloe's place. No matter what she did, she could never get into William's heart. Claire glared at him, then turned and left the room. The plane landed in Paris. Kloe pulled her suitcase out of the airport. She rented a small apartment, cleaned it for 3 days, and placed a new easel beside her desk. She tore up the fake marriage certificate and threw it in the trash. Before coming to Paris, she had reapplied to art school and received an acceptance letter. To pay for tuition, she found a part-time job at a gallery near her school. Her job was to organize artwork and assist customers. She kept her head down, focused on her work. One rainy afternoon, a man walked in. He held a painting.
Can I help you?
Kloe asked. The man smiled.
I'm a curator here, Luke Sinclair.
Kloe apologized for not recognizing him. From that day on, they exchanged ideas about art. Luke was preparing an exhibit on manuscript restoration. He saw Kloe looking at a damaged painting.
What's on your mind?
He asked. Kloe said she should not touch the exhibits. Luke said it showed she had a good eye for art. He noticed paint on her fingers and asked if she liked painting. Kloe did not answer. Over the next few days, Luke gave her tips on her sketches and left notes with restoration suggestions. One day, a customer picked on Kloe and tried to snatch her work badge. Luke appeared and told the man to leave. He stepped in front of Kloe. Later that evening, Kloe worked late on a manuscript. Luke brought her warm milk and sat across from her. He said restoration needed patience. He offered to teach her restoration techniques. Kloe nodded. As autumn deepened, she realized she no longer felt the confusion and pain she had once carried. Luke's presence had given her the courage to forget the past. Clare faked a pregnancy test. She showed it to William at breakfast. William examined it. They hadn't been intimate for months. He said,
"Where's the medical report?"
I haven't been to the doctor yet.
"We're going now."
At the hospital, the doctor said,
"Mrs. Parker is not pregnant."
William stormed home. He slammed the report in Claire's face.
"You think a fake pregnancy can keep me?"
He shoved a display cabinet. Shards scattered at her feet. Claire screamed,
I gave up my wedding for you. Cut ties with my family. Kloe is gone. Why won't you look at me?
"Because you'll never be her."
Claire's phone slipped. William picked it up. He saw her messages to Kloe.
You're pathetic. Your marriage certificate is fake. William is taking me to get our official marriage license. You're a discarded woman. He doesn't love you anymore. You're a joke.
William's hand trembled.
"Did you say all this? This is how you treated her when she lost her baby."
So what? She's taking your place. I want her to know how badly she's lost.
"Get out. Never show up in front of me again."
In late autumn, an art exchange event took place at a gallery in Paris. Kloe stood in front of her booth. Her piece, Rebirth, had caught the attention of art critics. Luke stood beside her.
Don't be nervous.
He said.
Let me introduce you to some curators.
He handed her champagne and fixed a strand of her hair. Luke promoted her work. When the media approached, he shielded her from tough questions. A Swiss collector offered to buy all 5 of her pieces. Kloe glanced at Luke. He smiled. William's assistant was at the event with a business partner. He saw Kloe laughing with Luke. The assistant reported to William.
"Mr. Parker, we've located Ms. Taylor. She is at a Paris art show with a local curator. They look very close."
The assistant sent photos of them smiling and standing intimately. William stared at his phone. His grip tightened. Kloe wore a gown and smiled in a way he had never seen. The man beside her looked at her with affection.
"Book the fastest flight to Paris."
William said. Claire burst into the room.
You can't go. She is with another man. We are married.
William looked at her.
"Married? That is just something you used lies to get."
Claire lunged for the files. William shoved her away.
"You faked a twisted ankle, forged chat logs, stirred up trouble, and used a fake pregnancy."
Claire cried.
I love you too much.
William jerked away from her grip.
"Your love destroys other people's lives."
He called his bodyguards.
"Take her back to the villa. She does not leave without my permission."
Claire screamed as she was dragged away. William grabbed his jacket and went to the airport. The private jet took off. Hours later, it landed at Charles de Gaulle Airport. William stepped out. He gripped his phone and looked at the picture of Kloe. This time, he would not let her go. Kloe was dusting artwork at the gallery. He heard footsteps. She turned and saw William. He said,
"I know I was wrong. Please come home with me."
Kloe said,
Mr. Parker. We're done.
William said,
"It was all Claire's idea. She forged the chat logs, faked the suicide attempt."
Kloe said,
Whose fault it is doesn't matter. I don't need your explanation. I'm not going back with you.
William grabbed her arm.
"I won't let you stay here with that man."
Luke appeared.
Let go of her.
He gripped William's wrist.
Can't you hear her refusal? You're hurting her.
William sneered.
"I'm talking to my lover."
Luke said,
She's not your woman anymore. She's free now. Forcing her is no different from kidnapping.
William released her arm. Luke pulled Kloe behind him. The next day, at the auction, Kloe's Rebirth series created a stir. William bid 10 million euros, then 20, then 30. He bought all 5 pieces for 30 million euros. As the highest bidder, he was entitled to a private meeting with the artist. Kloe walked into the meeting room. Kloe sat across from William.
"Do you remember the lavender fields in Provence?"
William said,
"I bought a mansion there. And on your birthday, I rented an amusement park and made fireworks spell your name."
Mr. Parker, what does that have to do with me? We don't have a marriage certificate. We weren't even officially a couple. For 2 years, you just needed a Kloe to keep you company. It wasn't love.
"That's not true. I'm different with you."
Is that what you mean by drugging me? Forcing me into bed. And then keeping me around?
William's face went pale.
I was drunk.
Being drunk isn't an excuse for hurting me. You never cared about my feelings. You only cared about controlling everything.
I loved you. I never understood my feelings. Please give me one more chance.
Luke appeared at the door.
Kloe, it's time.
Kloe stood up. He smiled at Luke. They walked out together. That night, William knelt outside Kloe's apartment building in the rain, clutching the half-burned photograph. He stayed until dawn. The door never opened. Kloe locked herself in the studio for 3 days to escape William's harassment. On the third day, Luke knocked on the door. He held a case of art supplies.
The maple trees in the countryside are turning red. Want to go see them?
They drove out of the city. Luke stopped the car beside a stream. Kloe stepped out. Luke offered her a pencil and set up his easel. Kloe made the first mark on the paper. Then she spoke.
William used to be my boss. I followed him for 2 years.
Luke listened quietly. Kloe's tears fell. She thought of the wedding crash video, the fake marriage certificate, and the operating table. She recounted her childhood with William, Claire's appearance, their sham marriage, and the phone call the day she miscarried. Luke handed her a handkerchief. When she finished, the sun was nearly setting.
It was never your fault.
Luke said.
You don't have to punish yourself.
Kloe looked at Luke's painting. She smiled and wiped her eyes. Luke said,
I want to paint you.
He had her sit under a maple tree. When the sketch was finished, he handed it to her.
That's you.
He said. On the ride back, Kloe slept soundly. Luke watched her and brushed her cheek with his fingers. He recalled William harassing her at the gallery and gripped the steering wheel. Meanwhile, Claire sat at her computer. She stared at articles about Kloe's design exhibition. She opened Facebook and posted a long message accusing Kloe of breaking up her marriage with William. She posted a photo of her and William's marriage certificate.
Her reputation was built on the ruins of someone else's marriage.
Claire wrote. Within hours, the post went viral. Kloe's name hit trending topics. Comments flooded in. Homewrecker Kloe. No shame. Some users found the gallery's address and threatened to ruin her reputation. Claire watched the hateful comments and drank her wine.
Kloe, you wanted a fresh start abroad? I'll nail you to the shame column and make sure you never hold your head high again.
Kloe read the news. Luke said,
I'll have a lawyer handle it.
No need. Let her perform. Once the clown is finished, the show is over.
She pulled out an envelope from the safe. Inside were the forged marriage certificates, recordings of William and Claire conspiring, and all of Claire's provocation messages. That night, Kloe's website posted a statement with the evidence.
I've never been in a legal marriage with Mr. William. They both conspired to deceive me for years. How can I be called the third party?
Public opinion flipped. Claire's social media accounts were attacked. William's PR team released a video. He stood in front of the Paris Opera House.
My marriage with Claire was always coercion. I never loved her. I officially declare this marriage invalid. Kloe, I'm sorry. Please give me another chance.
The public reaction was unanimous. Stay with Claire. Leave Miss Taylor alone. Claire sat on the floor, reading the online mockery. She threw a crystal glass at the TV. Kloe stood by the gallery window. He said,
It's all over.
Luke brushed a strand of hair from her face. Kloe said,
Yeah, it's all over.
After the public scandal, Kloe's artwork gained fame. Her exhibition, Breaking Free, opened at a gallery. A long line formed outside. The centerpiece was a blue butterfly struggling to break free from a web. Luke had purchased it and introduced it to attendees.
The web is the chains of the past. The butterfly breaking free is rebirth.
Kloe wore a beige suit with embroidered butterflies on the sleeves. William stood at the entrance with white roses. Kloe saw him but showed no reaction.
Kloe, I know I was wrong. Give me another chance.
Kloe interrupted.
It is over between us.
He pointed to the butterfly.
Once it breaks free, it does not look back.
William dropped the roses. He stayed in front of the painting all afternoon. He left an envelope under the frame. The letter said he was sorry and that real love was letting go. The next morning, Kloe found the letter. He read it, folded it, and placed it in a drawer. She did not forgive him. He did not care anymore. Luke entered with coffee.
What are you thinking about?
He asked. Kloe smiled.
The weather is nice today. Perfect for a day trip to sketch in the countryside.
Outside, leaves swayed in the breeze like butterflies flying toward a sky without webs. Since her public shaming, Claire could not leave the house without feeling judged. She could not accept losing to Kloe. She blamed Kloe for ruining her marriage. If she could not have William, neither could Kloe. One day, she overheard a conversation at Parker Group. The company's prize technology was about to launch. Claire saw an opportunity. Later that night, Claire snuck into the office using a backup access card. She copied sensitive project blueprints onto a USB drive. Selling it to a competitor could seriously hurt William. She called a rival company.
I have what you want. Come pick it up this weekend.
The exchange was set for a warehouse on the outskirts of the city. Claire did not notice William's car parked in the shadows. Fresh off a flight from Paris, William had received urgent news from his assistant.
Claire used your access to copy classified documents and is selling them to a competitor.
William started his car. At the warehouse, Claire handed the USB to a masked man. The lights turned on. William emerged from the shadows.
Claire, you have got guts.
The USB slipped from Claire's fingers.
William, let me explain.
Explain how you betrayed me?
William nodded to his bodyguards.
Take her.
The bodyguards restrained the rival company's men and knocked Claire out. When Claire woke, she was in a basement. 2 bodyguards stood nearby.
William, you cannot do this to me. We were once married.
Claire said.
Married? Did you ever think of Kloe like a wife when you did all those things?
William sat in the corner with a cigarette.
Moo.
The bodyguard hit Claire. She screamed and pleaded. The bodyguard kicked her in the stomach. Blood dripped from her mouth. Her face swelled. William watched coldly. He recalled Chloe's pale face the day she miscarried and when she collapsed at the clerk's office. Claire crawled to William's feet.
I was wrong. Please let me go. I won't do it again. Forgive me.
William grabbed her chin.
Did you ever forgive Kloe? Did you feel guilt when you sent those cruel texts and incited online harassment?
He tossed her aside.
What you did to her, now you will pay for.
William called the police and reported Claire for corporate security breach. At trial, Claire watched video footage of her meeting with the competitor. She broke down.
I did it all. I forged the chat logs. I pretended to be the victim. I made her lose the baby.
Claire was sentenced to prison. On the day of her incarceration, William stood outside the prison from dawn till dusk. He realized what he lost was not just a lover. It was the girl who once loved him deeply. The girl he had destroyed. Someone he could have had a future with. He knew the most useless thing in the world was a delayed awakening. Luke suggested a trip to Iceland to see the northern lights. They went. Kloe stood on a frozen lake. Luke draped a scarf around her neck. He took her hand and led her to a cabin.
Close your eyes.
Luke said. Kloe obeyed. When she opened her eyes, glowing stones in the snow formed a butterfly shape. Luke knelt at the center with a velvet box. Inside was a ring with a blue gemstone.
I designed this for you.
Luke said.
I want to stand by your side and see the world with you. Will you give me that chance?
Kloe cried. She reached for the ring.
I will.
Luke placed the ring on her finger and embraced her. Meanwhile, in a U.S. coastal city, William stood at the water's edge. His assistant had sent photos of Kloe in Luke's arms, the ring on her finger. William threw his phone into the ocean. He pulled out an old photo of Kloe smiling against him. He walked away. That night, William drank whiskey alone at home. He thought of his broken promises. He whispered,
Kloe.
Into the empty room. In Iceland, Kloe rested her head on Luke's shoulder. Fireworks lit the sky. Luke asked,
Where to next?
Anywhere.
Kloe said.
As long as I am with you.
They kissed. The past was gone. The future was theirs. Claire sat in her prison cell. She heard that William had stopped searching for Kloe. She laughed crazily and said,
He's mine. Kloe took everything from me.
A guard found her banging her head against the wall. Doctors confirmed a mental breakdown. She was transferred to a psychiatric facility. 6 months later, Parker Group faced a crisis. William locked himself in the mansion, staring at Chloe's photo. The company teetered on bankruptcy. He told his assistant,
Transfer 60% of my shares to Kloe.
The assistant hesitated. William added,
Tell her it is compensation.
The transfer documents arrived in Paris. Kloe was working at her studio. Luke handed her the file. William had written,
Kloe, this is all I can give you.
Kloe closed the file.
Contact a lawyer. Donate these shares to a domestic violence charity.
Luke took her hand. Kloe said,
The past is the past. We need to move forward.
Kloe opened her own studio in an old building. Luke moved his office next door. He watched her work. One night she found him asleep on the sofa. She kissed him and was caught. During a party, someone asked Luke when he would marry Kloe. He smiled and draped his arm over her shoulders. Later, Kloe asked him to be her model for a sketch. Luke chuckled. Their future felt brighter each day. A year later, Kloe and Luke held a small wedding at a manor in Europe. About 20 close friends were invited. A guitarist played folk tunes. Kloe wore a satin gown she designed herself, with butterfly wings embroidered on the hem. Luke wore a light gray suit. Luke asked,
Nervous?
Kloe shook her head. He slipped the ring onto her finger. She said,
I do.
Luke kissed her. Guests applauded. The wedding photos were posted on Facebook and went viral. The headline read, American designer Kloe marries renowned curator Luke. William saw the photo in the newspaper at his mansion. He sat alone in the empty living room. Chloe's eyes in the photo were peaceful. He stood up to get a drink. A yellowing piece of paper fell from the cabinet. Chloe's childish handwriting read,
William, we will be together forever. We will see the whole world together.
Beside it was a drawing of two stick figures holding hands. William remembered Kloe holding up the note and smiling. She had said,
When you marry me, you will take me to Iceland, Provence, and Antarctica.
He had laughed and said,
Of course.
But he was not the one who went with her to see the lights. He was not the one who saw the world with her. The paper fell to the floor. Some things, once lost, can never be regained. On the other side of the Atlantic, Kloe rested her head on Luke's shoulder. Luke squeezed her hand.
Where to next?
He asked.
Anywhere,
Kloe said.
as long as I am with you.
They kissed. The shadows of the past had disappeared. The future was open for them to explore together.